And Oklahoma's Attorney General Scott Pruitt named the nominee of President-elect Donald Trump to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. An outspoken critic of the EPA, he has often said their regulations are choking our state's oil and gas industry. And to talk about this selection, we're joined by Jeffrey McDougall, chairman of the Oklahoma Independent Petroleum Association. Thanks for being here with us this morning.
Yeah, you're welcome, Steve.
All right, so big day for our state. A lot of Oklahoma is being talked about for Mr. Trump's cabinet. This now a nominee here. And so what can we expect as Mr. Pruitt if he becomes the EPA administrator?
Well, first of all, it's a big day for the country, not just Oklahoma. I mean, the regulations that the EPA has imposed on the country as a whole have been burdensome. And Steve, Scott, him being in there is going to do a great job. He's got a legal background. He understands what it's like to be on the opposite side of the EPA. And I can't think of a more qualified person for the job.
Now, in your eyes, what is the primary purpose of the EPA?
Well, I think their primary purpose is really, safe drinking water and air. And the problem we've had with this past administration is when they couldn't legislate their agenda, they decided to regulate it. And they used the EPA aggressively over the last 8 years to impose a lot of regulations on us, outside of the normal scope, we think.
And so the mission statement for the EPA is to protect human health and the environment. What's Mr. Pruitt's highlight in protecting the environment here in Oklahoma?
Highlights for, well, he's been out there on the waters of the U.S. for one. He's also been on the Clean Power Plan, regional haze issues, and he's really championed states' rights. I think that the issue that you see that where the EPA has ran astray is that at the federal level they're trying to regulate local businesses, and it's really the state that should be regulating the local businesses. They understand them. They do a much better job, whether it's environmental issues or
Sure.
business issues.
Okay, so to pin that down, here in our state, Oklahomans would have noticed what in terms of him protecting the environment or their health?
Well, he's served as the Attorney General, so he's been on the Obamacare issues. He's been on the health care issues, trying to improve those. He's been out in front of the regional haze issues, just clean air, all the different things that are out there.
Okay, because in many cases, he's been against many of the things that the EPA has tried to do, which is part of the reason for his appointment there is to roll back these regulations. We're starting to see criticism, many of it coming from the likely places. If we could pull up the New York Times editorial board today saying this, quote, Mr. Pruitt is the wrong person to lead an agency charged with the custody of the nation's environment. If the Senate cares about the public good, it needs to, they say, throw his nomination in the dustbin is how they end that sentence there. Oh, yeah. And also we heard from Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. He said this, if we can pull up his tweet as well. Trump's choice to lead the EPA, Scott Pruitt, is a climate denier who's worked closely with fossil fuel industry. That is sad and dangerous. We've even heard people saying that appointing Mr. Pruitt is like making a tobacco lobbyist Surgeon General. What do you think about this criticism? What's your response to it?
I don't expect anything less than that from the other side that has been advancing these overreaching policies for the last 8 years. Scott's going to do a great job. Scott is the best person for the job. He's a great legal mind. He's a quality person. He's a reasonable person. He's reliable. He'll get an agenda set out there that will take care of the job description of the job. But the issue here for him and his big job is to roll back the regulations. I'll give you an example in the energy business. Over the last 8 years, we've seen nearly 600 regulations under the Obama administration. During the Bush administration, there was 12. That's just our industry alone. I mean, it's just that the EPA just gotten outside of its boundaries. We appreciate the clean air, the clean water, and its original intent, but it's gotten outside of its job description.
Now, for most people outside of this state, they look at Mr. Pruitt and they see him very closely aligned with organizations like yourself and with oil and gas in general. Part of it just by virtue of our state and it being the anchor industry. But how do you help people alleviate some of the concerns that he is too closely tied with the oil industry?
Well, I mean, anyone that comes out of Oklahoma has some ties with oil and gas. We're almost 30% of the economy here. He's been our Attorney General. He's protected us on our issues as well as the other issues of the other 70% of the economy. I think Scott is totally prepared for this job. There's nothing better than to be on the wrong side of a stick to understand what the person on the other side of the stick is doing. And he understands through the lawsuits that have been out there, the overreach that's gone on, and he's done a fantastic job. I just wish there was more Scott Pruitts out there to put into more political positions. He does a great job. Solid guy.
Now, when we hear people talk about these issues, though, about how close the Attorney General is versus the industry and how those might be tied, for instance, this won the Pulitzer Prize back in 2014. The New York Times found that Mr. Pruitt had, in fact, sent letters to the agency, meaning the EPA, that had been written by industry lawyers, by Devon Energy and others. So people look at this and they say, are they in fact too closely aligned? And how do you alleviate those fears?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think we deal with a lot of different political situations, and industry is always lockstep with a lot of politicians trying to get issues figured out and provide information to be informed on those issues. And a lot of times, even in a letter like that, for example, might be a draft of something that they approve and give them a head start on things, and then they put their own words to them and look at them. So I don't know about that specific situation, but we have a lot of issues out there, and we have to work with all of the government out there. And many times, even like the seismicity issue right now, OIPA is busy lockstep with OCC out there trying to come up with the best science to provide them the understanding. A lot of times they're understaffed for the issues. Nobody understands the issues better than the people that are affected, and many times these people are simply conduits to help get to the right place to get some help or shed a light on it.
All right.